During the health pandemic, with many organisations recruiting new staff and a need to maintain training for existing staff, are your staff getting the best out of virtual training? Have you discussed the delivery of virtual training with your providers? Have you arranged a virtual meeting with the trainer themselves to review and assess how they actually deliver training online? Do your staff participate fully in the training experience? What feedback do you receive? My name is Vince Donovan from Safety Solutions, a company based in Cardiff with 20 years experience delivering face-to-face training. Moving into the virtual world has certainly presented its challenges. Trainers have to work so much harder to connect with their participants. Having delivered now over 300 virtual training sessions since the start of the pandemic, we've received incredible feedback, not only with regards to the course content, but how we deliver the training itself. And I would like to take this opportunity to demonstrate how we at Safety Solutions deliver our online training. Thank you. First of all, moving from the training room into the virtual training room, our focus was, let's create that environment. Let's use a whiteboard. Soft plant in the background, lacking in clutter. And also, we don't sit down, there's no chairs here. It allows movement, it allows the trainer to better engage with the delegates and participants on that course. And that is used to great effect. And using specialist software and getting to grips with it, we then worked out how we could do this and place ourselves actually within the PowerPoint slide. So here I am in the slide itself, and this allows all this room here for the content, images, descriptions, our bullet points and reference points, then to better connect. But by presenting in this way, not only can the participants themselves see the content, but the trainer equally to some significant degree there. And that really works. And we've had great feedback on that. I'd like to roll through some of the slides that we use that can show how impacting this can look. So this is an example of the clarity of our slides. On our conflict management and lone worker training courses, we look at the possibility of staff involvement and a member of staff dealing with somebody and the impression they give to others, and sometimes how this can fuel or trigger somebody to become upset or irate in certain situations. So it's having this discussion. But as you can see, the clarity of the information that we cover comes across really well. And at the same time, the trainer is able to talk and discuss it and very, very quickly come out of the slide and to give that impression, asking then the party, what does that look like? What impression am I giving to you if I suddenly do that? How does that affect you? Okay, so constantly asking questions is something that we trainers need to do. To recognize the value that participants bring to training, we use the whiteboard in very much the same way that we would do so in a training room. And just simply then by going into this area and moving back, this allows then the trainer to focus on the needs of staff and the information that they share with us. So bringing the whiteboard is far better than the clunkiness of using whiteboard, for example, in Microsoft Teams or in Zoom. These can be quite difficult to manage, but certainly by using a whiteboard in this situation, I can then ask the participants, so what did you mean by that? Okay, and give me some more information. Okay, so thanks, John, for that. And Sue, so what's your thoughts? I'm making a note of the observations highlighted by those participants. Creating a platform for participants to feel that they're being heard and they're contributing towards that learning experience. During the training course, not only videos, sometimes using polls, but breakout groups. Breakout groups that are superb in better connecting, setting tasks and case studies and sending those participants into those groups to formulate their own opinions and judgments, and then on returning to then assess and record and note and provide further feedback to develop that learning is a great way forward. Our participants really enjoy the experience of breakout rooms and once again contributing effectively during that training experience. During our own work in personal safety training courses, we look at the variety of risks that staff can encounter when visiting clients. And by bringing in virtual backgrounds, we really help to bring this subject area alive. So here, for example, you can see that very quickly, without the need for a green screen or any of that, I'm actually in a scene where I'm making a judgment now when I walk past these individuals. How do I feel? What should I do? What might be the best way to react when I see something that perhaps poses me a bit of concern? If I move now into this scenario where I'm walking through a subway and again, my actions to stay safe, that comes across really, really well in generating discussion, asking staff how they would feel, what would they do if they found themselves in this situation. And then when we talk about going into people's homes, a big part of our lone worker course, with some staff feeling or telling us that they've been locked in. So we talk about actually going into the property and pausing at the front door so the person themselves leads the way. And then that would allow us then to close the door, looking down the hallway to see where the light is in terms of, okay, possible exit routes and awareness of the room itself. In certain situations, going into the room. And this is an example from one of our clients. We ask our clients to send actual photographs of their working place so we can bring them alive. And using a little bit of Photoshop, I can introduce a baseball bat there to create the possibility of possible weapons present and having staff discuss that and their actions and what they would feel, what they would do. A great way to formulate and take this discussion forward is how we have a conversation around, well, where do I sit? If I'm invited to sit down, again, where am I going to sit down? Do I sit next to the window or not? Again, making staff think about the consequences and really bringing virtual training alive. Issues around neglect are discussed. Issues around hoarding are covered on our lone working courses. And also where staff feel vulnerable when engaging in a meeting at that person's home, and then suddenly people arriving and making the member staff feel really, really uncomfortable. These really, really enhance our virtual training experience. Other ways that we've looked to improve our virtual delivery is simple, basic things like during breaks, providing, for example, a countdown to give staff an indication of when it is to return. But right at the start of the training, we would look at an attendance form and using QR codes, and not only our attendance forms, but feedback forms, an opportunity for staff to give their feedback using the QR code, or if not that, a little link to that in the chat box. During our delivery, sometimes we use an additional camera to look at other tactics around stance and movement, and using other cameras then also complement the delivery style. And that comes across really well. I really hope that provides some inspiration for you when making your choices and decisions on investing in training, in virtual training. Make sure when you're seeking out providers that they're meeting your needs, that your staff are going to be involved throughout that training day. Yeah, it's really important. It's essential that staff feel a part of the training and not just an observer. They need to be involved in that training experience. I'm Donovan from Safety Solutions, and thank you for watching this short video. Thank you.